Clauses. A clause is a combination of words which has a subject and a predicate, but which is part of a larger sentence, as strike the iron while it is hot. The sentence, while it is hot, is a part of the larger sentence and is not complete by itself. It is therefore a clause. It depends upon the clause, strike the iron, which makes complete sense by itself. So the sentence has two clauses: principal clause, subordinate or dependent clause. A clause which stands by itself and makes complete sense is called the principal clause, as strike the iron. A clause which cannot stand by itself and cannot make complete sense is called the subordinate or dependent clause, as while it is hot. Now, study the following pairs of sentences. This is the house built by my father. This is the house which my father built. The mice will play in the absence of the cat. The mice will play when the cat is away. I know of his success. I know that he has succeeded. In Group 1, the group of words built by my father is an adjectival phrase. The clause which my father built means the same thing as the phrase in 1a and qualifies the noun house. So it is called an adjectival clause. In Group 2, the group of words in the absence of the cat is an adverbial phrase. The clause when the cat is away means the same thing as the phrase in 2a and tells us when the mice will play. So it is called an adverbial clause. In Group 3, the group of words of his success is a noun phrase. The clause that he has succeeded does the work of a noun. So it is called a noun clause. Distinction between a phrase and a clause. Phrases, clauses. A group of words, a group of words. No finite verb, has a subject and a predicate, has no definite meaning, has a definite meaning of its own. To obtain a definite meaning, it should be fitted in a sentence, forms part of a larger sentence. Adverbial clauses. Adverbial phrases, adverbial clauses. She behaves like a princess. She behaves as if she were a princess. We return at sunset. We returned when the sun set. You will reap the fruit of your sowing. As you sow, so shall you reap. In spite of hard work, he failed. Though he worked hard, yet he failed. He will support all your actions. Whatever you do, he will support you. Adjectival clauses. Adjectival phrases, adjectival clauses. People having few desires are contented. People who have few desires remain contented. A man of courage is respected everywhere. A man who is courageous is respected everywhere. People taking junk food spoil their health. People who take junk food spoil their health. The days of our youth are the days of our glory. The days when we are young are the days of our glory. Youth is the time for the formation of character. Youth is the time when the seeds of character. Noun clauses. Noun phrases, noun clauses. His success is certain. That he will succeed is certain. He does not know the place of my birth. He does not know where I was born. We trust your loyalty. We trust that you are loyal. She hopes to stand first. She hopes that she will stand first. He seems to be a wise man. It seems that he is a wise man. Clauses. Principal clause. subordinate clause, coordinate clause, principal clause or main clause. It is that part of a complete sentence which can stand by itself, as I do not know where he was born. Subordinate clause. It cannot stand by itself, that is, it is not independent. There are three kinds of subordinate clauses. Adverbial clause, which does the work of an adverb, as though he is poor, yet he is contented. Adjectival clause, which does the work of an adjective, as uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. Noun clause, which does the work of a noun, as nobody expected that he would fail. The noun clause. A noun clause does the work of a noun, therefore it can be subject to a verb, as what he says is always true. That he will hit in the back is sad. Why he resigned is a mystery. Whether he will help us is doubtful. Object to a transitive finite verb, as he thinks that he is the best. Do you know when the train will arrive? Father asked me why I was late. Ask whether dinner is ready. Object to a preposition, as I cannot depend on what he says. The election results were different from what we expected. He will object to what we do. Your success in life depends on how you act now. Object to a participle, as fearing that I should be late, I ran all the way to school. Hoping that he would succeed, he began to work hard. Learning that he was needy, I went to see him. Knowing that he was innocent, I did not punish him. Object to an infinitive, as I was grieved to hear that the beloved leader died in air crash. I want to know who has made the noise. I like to say what I feel. He came to enquire if I had any problem. Complement to a verb, as the moral of the story is that honesty is the best policy. Trouble is what we think of it. My belief is that he is innocent. It seems that it will rain today. In apposition to a noun or pronoun it, as it was fortunate that you were present. The news that Subhash Chandra is alive is not true. The belief that the soul is immortal is almost universal. That is a clear hint that I must go now. The adjectival clause. An adjectival clause does the work of an adjective and so qualifies either a noun or a pronoun in the principal clause. An adjectival clause is usually introduced by a relative pronoun or a relative adverb, as he is not such a person as can be suspected of corruption. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. The place where the marriage ceremony took place is nearby. This is the same story as I heard last year. Relative pronouns: who, which, that, as, but, whom, whose, what, etc. Relative adverbs: when, where, how, why, whence, whither, wherein, whereas, etc. The relative pronoun and the relative adverb refer to a noun or pronoun lying immediately before each. The noun or pronoun so referred is called the antecedent. The relative pronoun or the relative adverb introducing an adjective clause is sometimes left out, as this is the movie I enjoyed, that I enjoyed. Few and short were the prayers we said, which we said. He is the boy we saw yesterday, whom we saw. It blew hard on the day she came, when she came. Sometimes an adjectival clause is introduced by as and but when they are relative pronouns, as, "This is the same watch as I have." As many men as attended the meeting were arrested. There was not a student but complain who did not complain. Sometimes relative pronoun or a relative adverb introduces a coordinate clause rather than a subordinate clause, though it appears so, as, "He went to Bombay where, and there, I met him at a hotel. He was taken before the principal, who, and he, punished him. She let off the parrot, which, and it, flew away." In the above sentences, where, who, which do not qualify or restrict the nouns after which they are placed, but simply add new facts. Note: a comma is generally placed before a coordinate clause, so introduced. The adverbial clause. An adverbial clause is a subordinate clause that does the work of an adverb. Adverbial clauses are of the following kinds: time, place, purpose, cause or reason, condition, result or effect, comparison, manner or extent, concession or contrast. Adverbial clauses of time are introduced by the subordinating conjunctions when, as soon as, whenever, while, after, before, till, since, as, until, as. When you are old, you will remember my words. As soon as I heard of his arrival, I went to meet him. He always comes whenever he is in need of my help. I have not been well since I left that place. Adverbial clauses of place are introduced by the subordinating conjunctions where, wherever, whence, whither, as, "Where there is a will, there is a way." The President of America was welcomed wherever he went. He returned whence, from where he had come. Adverbial clauses of purpose are introduced by the subordinating conjunctions that, so that, lest, as, "I die that my country may live." He takes medicine regularly so that he may get well. People save in order that they may secure their future. Write it down, lest you should forget all about it. Adverbial clauses of cause or reason are introduced by the subordinating conjunctions as because, since, that, as. As he was not hard-working, he failed. He could not attend the meeting because he was ill. Since your brother is not at home, take this message from me. I am happy that, because, you have survived the accident. Adverbial clauses of condition are introduced by the subordinating conjunctions if, unless, whether, provided that, as, "If war breaks out, there will be a lot of destruction. Unless you work harder, you will fail. Play the game whether you win or lose. In case you happen to meet him, convey my message to him. You will get the job provided you pass the test."